Dark greetings, I am Lord FreakZilla, and this is Gothic Sagas. Here we explore deep into the shadows of reality, where the strange, the creepy, and the tragic collide. So hit that subscribe button, and together, let's venture into the darkness, where shadows dance and secrets lurk.
Trying to register what the hell just happened, who was that, what did they want, what were their intentions, and all I could think about is they were probably planning on robbing, but I'm not feeling so safe.
This is a YouTuber named Lisa, who posted a deeply unsettling video titled, "Just Experienced My First Creepy Encounter" on her channel, Asleep 5 Decades. Her channel typically focuses on her day-to-day van life travels across North America. She documents the forest she camps in, the places she parks overnight, and the routines of living full-time out of her camper van. Lisa is normally upbeat, informative, and engaging, but in this particular video, the tone was very different. Around 4:30 in the morning, while she was asleep inside her van, she suddenly woke up to the sound of knocking right next to her ear. Someone was standing outside. Terrified, she called out to whoever was there. The knocking eventually stopped, but about 15 minutes later, she heard footsteps returning. That's when she grabbed her camera and began recording the disturbing encounter.
Somebody's back here again. I hear footprints. Hello?
Hello?
How can I help you?
I have a question for you.
It's 4:30 in the morning. I don't feel safe. Who are you?
After that strange encounter, Lisa quietly crawled to the front of the van to look outside. In the distance, she saw a pair of headlights slowly backing away. She aimed the camera towards herself to explain what was happening, and that's when she heard footsteps approaching her van once again.
Trying to register what the hell just happened, who was that, what did they want, what were their intentions, and all I could think about is they were probably planning on robbing what was ever inside the van. So I just kind of went back to sleep. I just don't even know what to make of it. What were they thinking? I hear footprints. Hear that? Yeah, somebody was just here again 3 times now. The 3rd time I looked out, they were walking on foot. I seen them walking and they hid behind a tree there, and then they went to a car. The same car that was here earlier. Well, that was back, and then it backed away and left again 3 times in one night. This time, they didn't knock though. They were just walking around. I could hear them walking around the van. But I'm not feeling so safe. I'm just feeling I don't.
Thankfully for Lisa, the footsteps and the knocking eventually stopped, allowing her to get through the rest of the night inside the van. But the next morning, when she stepped outside, she discovered several footprints around her campsite.
So I come out this morning and you can see footprints. Look at this one. This is mine. I'll show you. There's mine. Somebody spilled 2 of my water bottles right there, but I don't know why. These are literally footprints. I never go there. Look at that. They came here, they were standing here. This worries me. Oh my God. Yeah, this has me really concerned.
The stalker's intentions remain completely unknown, especially since they returned multiple times that same night even after Lisa confronted them. Many viewers commented that if the man had planned to rob her van, he wouldn't have come back 3 separate times. The strange behavior suggests something far more unsettling, hinting that whoever approached Lisa in the middle of the night wasn't after her belongings at all, but something much darker. In July of 2011, a video was uploaded to the YouTube channel Sean SW that quickly caught people's attention. The footage shows a man hiking along a trail in eastern British Columbia. At first glance, nothing seems out of the ordinary. It simply follows the uploader jogging through the forest, enjoying nature and getting some exercise. Along the way, he passes a few other hikers, but there's little interaction. He seems completely focused on his run. For the first half of the video, everything looks normal, but once he reaches a more isolated part of the forest, his camera ends up capturing something completely unexpected.
Coming up on your left. Thanks. Holy shit! Hey! Oh, that was fun.
Out of nowhere, a grizzly bear appeared on the trail and began chasing him. Shocked and terrified, the man immediately sprinted for his life while keeping his camera rolling. For the next 2 minutes, he ran at full speed, occasionally glancing back to see if the bear was still behind him. Then, the video suddenly cuts off, offering no explanation about what happened next. While it's never confirmed how the encounter ended, the footage suggests that the bear eventually gave up the chase. Considering that grizzlies can run much faster than humans, it's almost certain that if the bear had continued pursuing him, he wouldn't have escaped. It seems the bear may have simply charged in defense before losing interest and retreating back into the woods. Whatever the case, the uploader was incredibly lucky that day to walk away unharmed from one of the most dangerous encounters a hiker can face.
They're just standing there. What do you want? Leave me alone! I know you're there, I see you.
This is a YouTuber named Sam who uploaded a frightening video titled Stealth Van Camping Gone Wrong on his channel, The Northwest Wind. For those unfamiliar with stealth camping, it basically means parking a van or a camper anywhere without paying for a campsite, from quiet neighborhoods to remote stretches of woods. Sam's channel is mostly centered around his travels, documenting his stealth camping trips all over the United States. In this particular video, Sam filmed a camping trip in the woods near Cleveland. After leaving his van parked at a nearby dog park, he hiked into the woods. Not long into the walk, he came across a tent that had been completely destroyed, but he kept moving deeper into the woods anyway. Once he found a spot he liked, he set up his own tent and began cooking dinner on a small camping stove. While filming, he noticed a couple of people walking near his campsite. He mentioned feeling like something about the situation wasn't right, like he mightn't be in danger. Even with that uneasy feeling, Sam decided to stay the night and continue recording. As soon as he settled into his tent and tried to get some sleep, things quickly escalated.
There's somebody, hang on. I don't know if they could see it or not through the tent. I don't think so. I'm leaning right up against the light, but somebody's walking around out there very close to the tent. Somebody's out there. I don't know if they're coming this way or just walking around out there. I can't tell. Somebody's definitely walking around out there, though. Hang on. I don't want to leave the light on in case they could see in here. Somebody's walking around out there. They're getting closer, too. They're getting closer. Hang on.
The footsteps outside the tent grew louder and closer. Sam couldn't tell if it was an animal or a person. With nothing else he could do, he called out to whoever was out there. At first, there was no response, but after yelling out several times, everything took a disturbing turn.
I don't like this at all. I'm spooked. Hello? I can barely hear them talking. They're whispering. I think there's two people. Hang on. They're walking around outside in circles. Hello? Hello? Alright, I don't like this. Hello? Hello? They're touching my tent. Stop. They're right outside the tent. Hello, I'm in here. Hello? Hello? Alright, I'm getting the out of here. Hello? Hello? I don't know what the this is, but we're getting out of here. Hang on. Okay, they're walking away now. What do you want? I have a knife. Where's my knife? Holy crap, get away. What do you want? Hello, I can't see you. All right, I'm getting out of here. We're getting the hell out of here. Hello? Say something, I see you.
After Sam mentioned he had a knife, the people outside backed off. But when he stepped out of his tent, he saw them standing motionless in the woods, staring at him.
I don't know which way they went. I think they went this way. I see you. Get away! All right, I'm spooked. I don't like this. Get my headlamp on and we're getting out of here right now. They're just standing there. They're just standing there. What do you want? Leave me alone! They went over that way. I can't see them now. I know you're there. I see you. They collapsed my tent on me and pulled the fly off while I was still in there.
Shaken, Sam grabbed what he could and tried to make his way back toward the park where he had left his van, but the situation continued to spiral.
I'm gonna call 911 if you come near me. All right, they're moving again. I don't know, I'm getting out of here. We're going. I'll come back for this some other time. All right, let's get the hell out of here. I'm leaving, don't follow me. All right, this is stay away from me. They're coming behind me. I don't know what they're doing. They're at my campsite, I see them. I see you reflecting off my tent. Leave my shit alone!
Afraid for his life, Sam abandoned his gear as the strangers began rummaging through his campsite. He started running back towards his van, but when he looked over his shoulder, he saw one of them chasing after him.
One of them's following me. One of them. I just ate. I'm toast. Okay, oh, they're coming. Leave me alone! I hear them coming. I can't see the shadow. Here's a path. Okay, get me there. I'm recording all of this. Get away from me! Hang on, is this still recording? Is it still recording? Is it still recording? Right at the edge of the wood line. It's about 150 yards away. Hang on. You see that? I see you! I can see you! Oh, it's getting bigger. It's getting bigger. All right, let's get the out of here. I don't know if they're like after me or something, or what the happening. We're getting the here. It's getting bigger. They're coming this way. Holy I don't like this. I'm calling the police. Okay. This is okay. All right, we're getting out of here.
After sprinting through the woods, Sam finally reached his van and managed to drive away safely. When he made it home, he posted an update explaining everything that happened. To this day, no one knows who the two men were or what they wanted. And when Sam returned the next morning, he discovered that none of his belongings had actually been taken. Whatever their intentions were, robbery clearly wasn't the goal. It's impossible to know what would have happened if Sam hadn't run, but it's clear he made the right choice by getting out of the woods when he did. In March of 2025, a YouTuber named Rob uploaded a video called Vikings Tomb Camping Gone Wrong to his channel, Rob Call Nature. His channel focuses on outdoor adventures where he documents himself camping in remote and often harsh locations across Europe. In this video, Rob decided to do a solo overnight trip in a forest in Finland known as the Vikings Tomb. He said he found the spot while browsing Google Maps and noticed only one photo existed of the area. Intrigued, he wanted to be one of the first to spend a night there and film the experience. As Rob began his trip, he parked his car and started walking toward the site while explaining how he had discovered it and what drew him there. But just a few minutes into the recording, something strange happened.
I just parked my car on the closest road to this place. That's weird. Why would they do that? That really bothered me. Why would they take pictures of my car? When I unpacked my car, there drove a car by. They slowed down pretty much when they saw me. And just now, before I left the road into the woods, they made another round and took a picture of my license plate. Maybe it was the landowner. Maybe they thought I was a poacher. This could be private property, but as long as you behave and respect the forest, there shouldn't be any issues.
After stepping out of his car, Rob noticed someone taking pictures of it. He called out, but the person didn't respond. What made it more unsettling was that this same individual had driven past him earlier, slowed down, and then returned to photograph his license plate. Considering he was deep in the countryside, miles from any nearby town, it was an odd situation. Still, Rob brushed it off, assuming it was a property owner or just a curious passerby, and continued toward the tomb. Unfortunately, not long after, he realized he was completely lost.
I'm not even close, so I have to cross another small valley. I found a trail, and I'm walking in circles. I found the lake. Oh my god, a deer. There it went. I've got the lake on my right side. So if I follow the lake to the south, that should take me straight for the Viking tomb. I think I can see the hill that it's on. Here is where the deer came. One of them saw me. They sprinted away towards the lake. The south shorelines of Finland, they're really lush with white-tailed deer.
After several minutes of wandering, Rob finally found a lake and decided to follow its shoreline, hoping it would lead him in the right direction. Along the way, he spotted a deer darting off into the woods, but otherwise saw no sign of anyone nearby. Eventually, his patience paid off. He stumbled upon the Viking's tomb.
Well, I think I can see it. Cool. Well, it's plundered, all right. Well, no trophies for me. I wonder how many hundreds of years ago they plundered this place. They could have left a sword for me, or two. Imagine hauling all this rock to this place. And these are some big boulders.
When Rob finally reached the site, he was fascinated by what he saw. Massive stones arranged in a circular formation deep in the forest, overlooking the lake. He speculated that the Vikings might have used the area as part of a trade or battle route, since it was close to both the Gulf of Finland and the Baltic Sea. Pleased with the discovery, Rob decided to set up his hammock camp right beside the tomb and rest for the night.
I did this exact setup last week when I did some island hopping in the Finnish archipelago, and it worked really good, but the temperatures then was about 0 degrees at night, but tonight it's gonna go down to about -4 degrees Celsius. So for the back I've got the foam pad, and to cover the roof, an old wool blanket. What a nice view. I've got my movie theater ready. And then I've got the thermometer outside and inside. Outside we've got minus 0.5 and inside 3.6 degrees Celsius. It's not every day you get to movie night hammock camp by a Viking tube.
As the night went on, Rob seemed comfortable despite the freezing temperatures. He had dinner, relaxed in his hammock, and even watched a movie on his phone. But around midnight, the temperature dropped even lower and the cold began to seep through his layers. Rob started shivering uncontrollably. It wasn't yet hypothermia, but it was enough to make him realize staying the night would be dangerous. Deciding not to take any chances, Rob packed up his gear and prepared to head back to the car.
The wind is really cooling down this shelter, even though I'm all tucked in. I just can't seem to get warm, so I'm just laying here shivering. I'm going to pull the plug on this one. Am I hypothermic? No, but it's really uncomfortably cold. One last glimpse of the Viking tomb. Now that I'm all packed up and ready to go, I can tell you this much. I've had chills going up my spine all evening. And I also have that feeling I have to get out of here. It's almost midnight. We've got a full moon. I know which way is east. I have to keep an easterly direction and I should hit the road. The most crucial thing now is not to panic, because it's dark and cold. I'm only using the moon as my compass, and I know that the road is towards the moon. Slowly but surely I'm making my way to the road. Oh yeah, success. But we're not home yet. I know about where I am. I've still got some hiking to do.
Navigating by moonlight, Rob slowly made his way back through the dark forest. In such freezing conditions, even experienced explorers know how risky that can be. Still, it was safer than staying behind. After a long hike, Rob finally spotted his car, and relief quickly turned to unease.
Well, I found her, my princess in shiny armor. Well, someone has been interested in my car. I knew there was something off. These are not my footprints. The left one is mine, and the right one is the visitor in the night. When we headed out, someone took a picture of my car. Well, maybe they're as curious as I am. Well, that's the... let's just get out of here. Oh my, what a trip. That was quite the experience. I've never had anyone stalking me before. It wasn't stalking, but when I parked my car, I never walked on the passenger side. That side was full of prints. Those were not my footprints. Someone was clearly very interested. Why was I there? Or why was my car parked there?
When Rob examined the ground, he found fresh footprints circling his car, proof that someone had returned while he was gone. He hadn't walked on that side when he parked, so whoever it was had clearly been there recently. Nothing appeared stolen or damaged, but the thought that someone had been lurking around in the middle of nowhere was enough for Rob to call it a night. He packed up quickly and left the forest behind. To this day, no one knows who that person was or why they were taking pictures. Maybe it was a ranger or a landowner checking on him out of curiosity. But whatever the reason, Rob's decision to end the trip early was likely a good one. because between the freezing temperatures and the strange visitor, that night could have ended much differently. In April of 2019, a YouTuber named Matt Field uploaded a video on his channel, Field Day, where he documented himself spending the night inside what he believed to be a haunted cave. Matt's channel is known for pushing the limits compared to most outdoor explorers. His trips often involve leaving society completely behind, surviving for days at a time only on whatever fish he can catch or animals he can hunt. But in this particular video, he decided to take it much further. He didn't even bring water with him, hoping instead to find drinkable water somewhere inside the cave. After nearly 4 hours of hiking, he finally located the entrance. He climbed down a man-made ladder and began working his way deeper underground. Matt started squeezing into different side tunnels to see if any of them led anywhere. At one point, he mentioned getting the unsettling feeling that something was watching him. Not long after that, he heard rocks falling near the entrance, followed by the sound of something walking around outside.
The second sound, I froze, man. I was like frozen, like I couldn't move. I was just waiting for something just to like whack me. It's just strange, very strange feeling in here. But when my mate said he's being watched, I'm feeling that feeling. I have 100% feeling uneasy in this cave right now. I swear to God, it was the ladder that I come into the cave on. It was swinging. Now, I think I'm just tripping balls, but I swear to God, it was the ladder swinging. And second thing is just that weird sound I heard again. It's just a very strange noise, but can't really put my finger on what it is.
Matt said he heard the sound of the ladder shifting, and he kept picking up strange noises echoing from the darkness. But around 11 p.m., when he sat down to eat his baked beans for dinner, that's when things began to take a darker turn.
We're nearly at midnight. One crazy thing is, it's a full moon tonight as well, so all of the weird things are in our favor. That is beautiful. Baked beans in a haunted cave. Oh my fucking God. That was the sound. That is the sound. Did you hear that? Look at my arms. I got full goosebumps. It's the chains moving when I climb down the ladder. It's a big, heavy, thick chain. Wind can't move that.
Matt could hear the sound of the chains on the ladder rattling. When he filmed this, he explained there was zero wind that night, and the chain itself was extremely thick, far too heavy for a breeze to move. The fact that it was shaking meant only one thing: someone or something was down there with him.
I really hope you guys heard that chain move just then. I'm 100% certain it's the chain that I walked in. You can't move that chain with wind. It's way too heavy. There is no wind coming in here. There's no wind even for... Holy shit. Oh my fucking God. You must have heard that just then. Look at my arms, dude. Oh, this is fucked.
After hearing the noises over and over, Matt decided he needed to leave. He headed for the entrance and managed to reach the ladder, but getting out wasn't going to be as simple as he had hoped.
And I'm booting on out of here. I just heard a sound. It's not normal. It's definitely not a normal sound, and I'm scared shitless. I'm not gonna lie. It's probably about 2 hours, so it would be around 2 o'clock, 1 o'clock in the morning. I'm getting out of here. Hear the bats, but they're really flying around here. They are active for some reason, and I just heard a sound that I've never heard before. I'm probably freaking out. I'm just being a but look, I'm at the ladder. So this is the ladder that was making the sounds. Now you're trying to tell me that this big ladder, something has to move this. And it has to move it because a rock fell and rolled all the way down here somewhere. So something was moving this chain 3 times in a row. I don't know. I don't want to go. I don't want to leave this cave. Okay, I'm gonna make a decision to stay in here for the whole entire night. The sounds and the chain wiggling doesn't make any sense to me at all, but at the same time, it's like...
Once the noises stopped, he decided to stay near the entrance for the rest of the night. But only a couple hours later, he claimed he began hearing hissing noises, sounds that resembled human voices. He searched the entire cave, but he couldn't find the source of any of it.
We just heard some voices, and Amika was like, "What's that noise?"
wouldn't you?
This father and daughter team, Gary and Amika from Scotland, run a travel channel called Travel with Gary and Amika. In March of 2023, they uploaded a video that was far different from their usual cheerful adventures. While exploring the Tinsmore Forest in Scotland, they stumbled upon something deeply unsettling. Their channel normally follows their camper van journeys across Europe, wholesome, lighthearted, and perfect for family audiences. But this day, things got strange fast. While walking through the woods, Amika told her dad that she heard voices somewhere nearby. They paused, listened, and began looking around. What they found was something neither of them expected.
We just heard some voices, and Amika was like, "What's that noise?" Wouldn't you?
Yeah.
So we just stopped and had a look in these woods. Look at how scary that is. Put the torch on. Whoa.
Look at that one. That one's got red and black hair.
That is weird, isn't it? Look at them everywhere.
Eek.
Here's even one on the ladders.
Oh, there's someone lying on the ground. Without
Falling
any
over. Look at the one on the ladders going up the tree.
legs. Oh yeah, that's creepy.
What about the washing line over there to the left? Yeah, there. Keep it there. And there's a whole house there.
A whole house full of those.
Yeah. And there's a car.
All with them in.
Oh, there, man. Stop there. And there's the old car as well.
Scattered through the forest was dozens of mannequins, dressed, posed, and arranged in bizarre positions. Some were painted, some were staged climbing trees, and others were placed around a small cabin with strange artwork hanging outside. No one knows who built this display or why, but whoever did it clearly put a disturbing amount of effort into making the place feel nightmarish. As Gary and Amika tried to make their way back out of the woods, a suspicious-looking car suddenly appeared, heading in their direction.
There's a car coming up there. No one lives in this place.
Not got a clue. Like I said, that was the weirdest thing I think I've ever seen. Right then,
Yeah, it really
let's get out of here.
weird.
I think that car is coming down here.
Fortunately, they reached their van before the car got close. Gary later said that there were no updates on who created the mannequin forest or what the approaching vehicle was doing there. To this day, the purpose behind that eerie setup remains a complete mystery.
Now I've just flipped it upside down and back again, so I'm going to give it the full 24 hours, I think, to... What are you looking at? You keep freaking me out, dog. There's no one over there. Are you seeing something I'm not?
In May of 2018, a British YouTuber named CJ uploaded one of the strangest videos on his channel, Project Amber. The video was titled, "Fixing My Fridge in a Haunted Forest." CJ isn't a paranormal investigator. His channel is about van life and camping across Europe, travel vlogs, peaceful moments in nature, and his dog, Lance, who never leaves his side. But this video was different. That day, CJ was driving through the French countryside when his mini fridge stopped working, so he pulled over to fix it. He ended up parking in the middle of a remote forest, miles from the nearest town. As soon as he stepped out of the van, his dog started acting strange, staring at something in the distance near an old abandoned well.
Right. Now I'm sure with house fridges you're supposed to... No. Right, so I'm pretty sure with a house fridge, if you move it, you're supposed to leave it like 12 or 24 hours to settle, for the gas to settle. Now I've just flipped it upside down and back again, so I'm going to give it the full 24 hours, I think, to... What are you looking at? You keep freaking me out, dog. There's no one over there. Are you seeing something I'm not? There's actually a well just where I'm parked. You go down this little track and there's a well with a big metal bar on it. And originally I was going to go and park there, and I saw the well. Instantly started thinking about the ring, which when I was about, I think it was about 10 when it came out, scared the shit out of me. For like a month I didn't sleep properly. So yeah, I'm not staying there.
Despite the dog's strange behavior, CJ brushed it off and stayed the night. The next day things escalated. CJ heard moaning sounds coming from the well, loud enough to echo through the mountains. He grabbed his camera and went to investigate.
Okay, I'm just seriously freaked out now. A minute ago I could hear like really loud moaning, like just booming across the mountains. So I've come down to where I could hear it. got to this old well and it stopped. I mean, that thing's wild freaky. It's like something out of The Ring. But just as soon as I got here, just from over there's no track or anything, it's just wood. This girl appeared, dressed like kind of like a monk, no shoes, no hair. So I said bonjour and that, and she responded. I asked if she was okay, but she didn't respond then. She just carried on walking. So I carried on a bit and then thought I better double check. Went to go and find her again. She's gone. So up that way, that's where my van is, and that goes to the road. But down where she went that way, there's nothing, and there's nothing for miles. Where did she go? I'm gonna leave.
According to CJ, the area was open forest with no place to hide, and there were no footprints left behind. The girl simply vanished. Shaken, he tried to leave, but on the way back to his van, he saw her again, this time running through the woods.
I have not got a clue what was going on there. That was so weird. The well, the moaning from the forest, the girl. Nah, maybe there's an explanation to it all, but I wasn't sticking around. I left, I booted it. I'm about 50 miles from there now. I saw the girl another 2 times. The last time I was near the van and she was running through the forest. I left. I was gone. I was gone so fast. I didn't even pack the van away. Yeah, it's a pretty big mess in here. But I do have a working fridge. The fridge is working. It's nice and cold now. So yeah, if your fridge stops working and starts heating up, turn it upside down.
CJ's dog, usually friendly and playful, was anxious the entire time, refusing to go near the well or the woman. To this day, no one knows who the girl was or where she came from. CJ has never uploaded another video like this one, and many believe the encounter was real. Whether it was paranormal or not remains a mystery.
Keep hearing the strange noise up on the top of the mountain.
In April of 2019, a YouTuber named Jason uploaded a chilling video to his outdoor adventure channel, Appy Mountain Trekkers. His videos are usually calm, focused on solo hiking and camping trips. But on this particular night, deep in the Appalachian Mountains, he captures something he couldn't explain. The video starts like any other. Jason hikes into a remote area, sets up his tent, starts a fire, and waits for nightfall. As the sun sets, he relaxes by carving a wooden spoon, until something breaks the silence.
Keep hearing the strange noise up on the top of the mountain. I can't figure out what that is. I don't know if you guys can hear it, but it sounds like some kind of, almost sounds like a bird, but it doesn't. Of course it quits. I'm hearing things. This may be a long night.
At first, Jason dismisses the sound. Probably a bird, maybe a coyote. But that wasn't the last time he heard it. Later that night around 10 p.m., Jason is suddenly jolted awake by a sound he had never heard before.
Alright guys, we'll give you a quick update. It's about 10 after 10. I laid down about 9 o'clock and I was trying to go to sleep. It took me a while and I was almost asleep, and sometime before 10 I was woke up by something I've never heard in my life. And I know this might sound sensational or something that, you know, I'm not bullshitting. I heard like 4 quick, very loud, deep guttural calls on this ridge behind me, behind camp. There's like a dip on the other side, and it goes up to a higher ridge on this backside, and it sounded like it come from over there. But it was like 4 calls, almost like a communication call of some kind. They were back to back, and then there was a pause, and then I heard 2 more. It scared the absolute shit out of me. I'm still rattled. I've never heard anything like that in my life. It sounded like a mix between almost like a pig, some kind of, I hate to even say it, but a pig, an ape, and the calls almost sounded like how the velociraptors communicate with each other on Jurassic Park. I've never heard anything like that in my life.
He describes the noises as deliberate, almost like a form of communication. Shaken, he tries to calm down and return to sleep. But it doesn't end there. At around 1 a.m., Jason wakes again, this time to the unmistakable sound of something circling his tent.
It's about 1 o'clock. I woke up again. I heard something circling my camp. Whatever it is, it's close. You hear that? Whatever it is, it sounded like there was 2 or 3 of them. And it started on the other side of my camp. Went around my perimeter. I heard that.
He grabs his flashlight, scans the forest, and that's when the camera picks up something Jason doesn't seem to notice. Eyes, watching him. In the bottom left corner of the frame, at least one set of eyes reflects sharply in the beam of his light, possibly 2. They don't blink, they just stare. While animals like deer, raccoons, and even foxes can reflect light like that, the fiery white glow and spacing of the eyes suggests something more dangerous, like wolves or coyotes. Jason, unaware of the eyes, eventually retreats back into the tent. He makes it through the night unharmed. The next morning, he films a final update. Clearly still unsettled, but never mentions the glowing eyes, he likely never saw them. To this day, viewers debate what exactly was circling Jason's tent that night, but the footage speaks for itself. Something was out there, and it was watching him. In November of 2017, a YouTuber named John uploaded a chilling video titled "The Scariest Thing I've Ever Caught on Camera" to his channel Exploration Unknown. John is known for urban exploration of eerie, abandoned places across North America. And in this video, he visits a deserted farmstead rumored to be haunted, and what he captures may be one of the clearest ghost sightings on YouTube. According to John, the property stretches across more than 100 acres and has been abandoned for years. Locals whisper about ghost sightings, strange sounds, and unexplained shadows, but John wanted to see for himself, so he chose to explore the property at 3 a.m. Navigating through overgrown woods, John eventually reaches the heart of the old farm. The structures are falling apart, trees have overtaken the path, and inside the crumbling barns and garages, rusted equipment and relics of the past are frozen in time.
I'm not gonna lie, that really freaked me out when I first saw it. Which is weird because it's like somebody's jacket just hanging there. This old barn garage. Oh wow. That actually still got, oh wow. It's unopened motor oil. That's really cool. There's a bunch of cans up here. This is probably not the safest structure to be inside of right now. It is all collapsed everywhere around me except there's one little spot I'm in. Here's what I want to show you guys. Okay guys, what is here in front of me is a 1953 5-window Chevrolet 3100. This is my dream truck. This is the truck I want.
John finds sealed cans of motor oil still on the shelves and a pristine 1950s pickup truck, all left behind as if the owners vanished overnight. That detail alone was enough to raise eyebrows. But what happened next took things to a much darker place.
Okay, there's the old barn in the woods. This is actually a thriving farm at one point. Still a pretty solid looking old barn except for that corner. I just love being out in the woods at night. Something really freaking cool about it. Okay. Something really freaking cool about it.
But in that exact moment, as John exits the barn, something appears just behind him. If you slow down the footage, you can clearly see a woman standing in the trees. She's dressed entirely in white, with long hair covering her face, just watching him. John never saw her during the exploration. He walked around the property for another 10 minutes, completely unaware of what his camera had just captured. It wasn't until he reviewed the footage later at home that he noticed the figure watching him from the woods. To this day, her identity remains unknown. John never gave a follow-up. No name, no backstory, just a silent figure in white, standing in the woods of a farm known for its haunted past. Was it a spirit, a warning, or something else entirely? Whatever it was, John never went back.
I was down in my tent, not asleep, listening to all the sounds, and then I heard somebody down by the shelter. So at first I had to convince myself it wasn't what I thought I heard, but it definitely was somebody down there.
This is Phil, a YouTuber behind the channel Hike Slam. In December of 2021, he uploaded a video titled Creepy Night in the Woods, documenting his solo camping trip along a remote section of the Appalachian Trail in Virginia. Phil's channel usually showcases peaceful outdoor adventures, but this trip was anything but normal. Phil begins his hike as usual, trekking deep into the woods to find a quiet place to camp for the night. For the first 30 minutes, everything seems calm, until he comes across something strange. Litter scattered along the trail, and on some of it, bizarre handwriting. The containers have markings resembling song lyrics and disturbing poetry. Phil brushes it off and continues on, but the deeper he goes, the weirder it gets.
Weirdness continues. What the hell? And there's a dead duck here. A very long note. And it looks like it was just put here because it's not wet. That duck is fairly recently killed. Alright. Kind of creepy.
Next to another cryptic poem, Phil finds a dead duck lying in the dirt, freshly killed. Nearby is a campsite. Whether the person who wrote the notes is the same person who left the duck, he doesn't know. But Phil decides to keep moving.
Okay, well that was really weird. So as I was hiking toward the shelter, these two women were hiking in the opposite direction. They had a little dog with them. They asked if I had seen the guy who was leaving the notes. I said he has a campsite down by the river. They were shocked I was still considering camping out there, but they said that they were kind of freaked out and asked if I would go with them and walk past his campsite so they could get back to their car. So I did, and then when I got back to my truck, and I'm actually on the Appalachian Trail, just going the opposite direction. But I'm just gonna find the closest camp spot to where I'm at because the sun is going down, and set up camp and yeah, settle in for the night. All right, let's get going.
The women were visibly shaken. They'd seen the notes too and feared for their safety. Phil escorted them past the campsite, then turned around and found a new location to camp, further away. He set up his tent, made dinner, and tried to relax.
I'm gonna check out the shelter log here. Almost every shelter on the Appalachian Trail has a shelter log. It's kind of cool tradition here. So let's see what this one says. All right, let's see what's happened recently. Holy crap. Wait a second. This writing looks almost exactly like the writing that was on that garbage a couple of miles from here.
It's the same handwriting, the exact same rambling, paranoid tone. And here's the thing, the shelter is over 2 miles away, on the opposite side of the road, meaning whoever wrote this is moving.
In 2018, while I was incarcerated at the Okaloosa County Jail, what the heck? This is the same ramblings from the guy that was on the other side of the river. That's kind of scary. Wow, this is weird. It's just like it goes in one direction, then immediately goes in a completely different direction. and there's just so much of it. Like this line up here. Think grave robbery in an attempt to obscure the reality of little Mrs. Wolf. What the heck? Okay, that's crazy.
The entries spiral into disturbing religious, political, and apocalyptic ramblings. Possibly written by a former inmate, possibly delusional. Phil is alone, in the woods, at night, with no cell signal and no weapon. Then, as Phil looks around the shelter, he sees something else. Hanging from the ceiling is a bottle suspended by a string. Attached is yet another note, in the same handwriting. It reads, "Watch out for Yeep Mouse. The dead do walk and talk." Phil is now visibly rattled. He returns to his tent, crawls into his sleeping bag and tries to sleep, but he can't shake the unease. Then, he hears footsteps.
Okay, I'm out on the trail. It's the middle of the night. I was down in my tent, listening to all the sounds, and then I heard somebody down by the shelter. So, at first I had to convince myself it wasn't what I thought I heard, but it definitely was somebody down there. So I packed up all my stuff and I walked past. As I walked past, I did look. It did look like a single guy hanging out in the shelter. He had a headlamp on. All I could really see was the light from the headlamp, so I could have been wrong. So I don't know. I just got out of there.
Phil quickly made his way back to the truck and left the trail. He wasn't followed. He wasn't attacked. But he hasn't returned to the Appalachian Trail since. The identity of the man who left those disturbing notes and killed the duck has never been confirmed. But for anyone hiking solo in the Virginia backcountry, it's a chilling reminder that not every danger in the woods is from nature.
I think someone's outside the back. 2:30. Someone just tried the door.
In February of 2024, YouTuber Brendan Explores uploaded a video titled "Scary Attack While Van Camping" to his channel. His content usually showcases stealth camping trips across the UK, where he documents the beauty of the outdoors and the freedom of van life. But on this particular night, his adventure took a dark turn. Brendan began the video camping near Jaywick Sands Beach, but the area was loud and unsettling, with cars and bikes racing nearby. Feeling uneasy, he decided to relocate, driving about 30 minutes to a quiet forest, where the calm surroundings finally seemed safe. By 10 p.m., he had eaten dinner and settled in for the night. But around 2:30 a.m., that peace was shattered.
Nice and quiet here. Not even a sound of a distant car. Just how I like it. It's absolutely dead quiet. I'll see you in the morning. I think someone's outside the back. Someone just tried the door. Hey! Right, whoever the that was has now gone.
Moments later, the sound of shattering glass jolted Brendan. His passenger side window had been smashed. Someone was trying to break in. Brendan immediately shouted, startling the intruder, who quickly fled into the night before he could be confronted. Realizing the danger, Brendan didn't hesitate. He started his van and drove 3 hours straight back home. The next morning, he updated his viewers, explaining that the intruder may have spotted his fridge through the window and tried to steal it, or possibly even the entire van. Fortunately, Brendan was unharmed, but he admitted this was the most terrifying experience he had ever had in all his years of camping. Still, he made it clear that the incident wouldn't stop him from continuing his adventures.
So when he continued to not leave and was trying to go to every door of the van, I quickly got around the corner, called the cops, and then from there I drove. Yeah, I'm a little bit shaken up right now.
This right here is a YouTuber named Sarah Dongo, who in September of 2021 uploaded a video titled Scariest Night Inside a Van. Her channel usually highlights the beauty of nature and her peaceful outdoor explorations across the United States. But on this night, the tone was very different. Sarah had just returned from a 2-day camping trip in the forest and was on her way to Asheville, North Carolina. After exploring the city for the day, she decided to spend the night in the parking lot of a restaurant. As the restaurant closed and the parking lot emptied, Sarah was left completely alone. While preparing dinner inside her van, she suddenly heard a knock on the outside.
Know her, please leave me be.
Fuck your camera, man. You're not
I'm safe right now, but I just had my first knock on the door. That was not the cops. I was in the middle of cooking dinner, so I had my cooktop out, you know, propane hose attached and everything. And then he's just bangs on my side door right here. I first turn off all the lights, turn all the sounds off so I can hear what's going on in case it is the cops and I need to like talk to them. It wasn't, and then he banged on this door right here, the double doors, and that's when I got really nervous. So when he continued to not leave and was trying to go to every door of the van, I quickly unhooked my propane. So I got around the corner, called the cops, and then from there I drove. Yeah, I'm a little bit shaken up right now.
The man was relentless. According to Sarah, he had knocked on her window earlier, insisting that she get out of the vehicle. He claimed she was a woman he had been dating at the restaurant, someone who had broken his heart. When Sarah denied being that person, he told her he had seen her van parked there many times and demanded she step outside to prove she wasn't her. Thankfully, Sarah trusted her instincts. Instead of opening the door, she left the parking lot and found a safer place to spend the night.
Well, I am living every solo camper's nightmare right now. There appears to be an animal of some kind pacing around my tent. It's the middle of the night.
In May of 2018, a YouTuber named John uploaded a video to his channel Lost Lakes called Maintaining Sanity with an Animal Outside the Tent. Normally, John's trips into the Canadian wilderness were calm, instructional, and full of scenic beauty. But this one turned into something else entirely. That night, deep in Ontario, an area known as the Black Bear capital of the world, John was jolted awake at 3:30 a.m. by the sound of footsteps outside his tent. Something was circling him in the dark.
Well, I am living every solo camper's nightmare right now. There appears to be an animal of some kind pacing around my tent. It's the middle of the night. I woke up at 3 a.m. and just couldn't sleep. And then around 3:30, I started to hear this pacing sound, and 45 minutes later, it's still pacing around out there. So I'm gonna talk it out with the GoPro and maintain sanity, and maybe the talking will make it go away. I'm just off Highway 101 west of Chapleau, so this is some very remote country despite being right off the highway, and it's the Black Bear capital of the world, so I'm thinking that's a possibility.
Inside that thin nylon barrier, John tried to steady his nerves, speaking to his GoPro as if talking might somehow keep the thing outside at bay. But then the situation worsened. When he decided he should retreat to his car for safety, he realized his keys were missing. He searched frantically, but they were gone. And then something brushed against the tent wall.
And my car is literally right outside there, but I can't find my car key for the life of me. I think I may have left it in the car. So while I'm tempted to hop out and get in the car, turn on my headlights, that's not an option right now because I'm an idiot and I can't find my key.
and the pacing continues. It's all gravel here. This is so I can hear everything on the gravel. You can hear all the footsteps, but anyway, the talking isn't making it go away, but it hasn't made a move toward the tent yet, so I don't know. Maybe it's biding its time for an attack. I don't know. Something literally just touched my tent before I turned on the camera, but I'm not really appreciated right now. Second, there's no cell signal here. And third, I have to pee. It's really just comical.
The footsteps dragged on, circling, stopping, starting again. John admitted his fear outright, even as he showed the small arsenal he had packed: a hatchet, a can of bear spray, and an air horn. Against a 600-pound predator, though, these tools would amount to little more than defiance. Eventually, the pacing faded. The night grew still again. John managed to sleep, untouched, but never knowing what had stalked him in the dark. Was it truly a bear, waiting for him to step outside, or something else, keeping him trapped, savoring the sound of his panic through the thin walls of his tent? He never found out, but the footage makes one thing painfully clear. When the force decides to watch you, there is no wall thin enough to make you safe.
And that wraps up this episode. Thanks so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe so we can keep bringing you more creepy, bizarre, and haunting tales. Check out the links below to dive deeper. And if you have your own creepy encounter, tell us in the comments. We might feature it in a future video. Until next time, sleep tight.